This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Save a Pooch on Pet Life Radio. I am your host, Beverly Isla. Thank you for tuning in today as we have two wonderful guests, Quille, Cadden, and Paula Stacy, that will talk to us about rescue dogs turned into therapy dogs. And I think it's great to be able to talk about two issues in one topic because both are incredible causes worth bringing awareness to. On one hand is the issue of dogs needing homes, the other how dogs can help facilitate our well-being. So today's show will feature a nonprofit organization called Vancouver ecoVillage and their therapy dog program. When we get back from these messages, Quille and Paula, who do wonderful work at the organization as well as having rescue dogs of their own, will join us.
You know that feeling when you go to clean the litter box and it's a complete disaster? Yeah, we've got you covered. Introducing World's Best Cat Litter Zero Mess, the advanced litter that gives you 2 times better clumping and more odor control with less litter. Zero Mess combines the concentrated power of corn with super absorbent plant fibers. Translation, scoop once and you're done. Find it at a pet store near you and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Save a Pooch. We are talking with Paula and Quille from Vancouver ecoVillage. Thank you for being on the call with me today, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very pleased to be here.
Likewise. So maybe you both can tell us about the organization's mission with their therapy dog program. I understand you guys are both from, different, sectors of the organization, I guess.
Yeah, I can. This is Quille, and I can tell you a little bit. So our main goal is to enhance the quality of life of people who are in need, whether they're sick or unhappy or lonely or homeless or isolated. Vancouver, where we live, is breathtakingly beautiful, but it's known as one of the loneliest and unhappiest cities in the world, unfortunately.
Vancouver?
Vancouver, yes.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, if you look in the newspapers, for example, you'll find tons of articles on how lonely and horribly lonely and desperate Vancouver is.
Huh.
You wouldn't think so because it's such a metropolis and it's so, everybody flocks here. But especially because it's a very transient place, people have very little opportunity to get to know each other, and people are in and out, kind of, right? So anyway, our therapy dog program revolves around this problem of how to increase the amount of happiness that people feel.
Right. Okay.
So in general, though, there has been a surge in animal-assisted activities. This is part of, it's called AAA. Either it's animal-assisted therapy or animal-assisted activities.
Yes, I've heard of them, about them, yeah.
Where therapy dogs are concerned, right? In the past decades, these activities have increased with programs that have moved beyond the traditional model of one volunteer handler and canine working with a health-impaired client in a static setting. For example, there have been 925 on-campus canine therapy programs across North America. The field of canine therapy is now expanding into including therapeutic canines into a variety of settings. For example, we now routinely see therapy dogs working in elementary schools to assist reluctant readers, or in courtrooms to support victims of violence giving testimony, or in airports to reduce traveler stress. You may see a lot of articles on that across Canada and U.S., or in funeral homes to comfort mourners.
Yes,
on college, and especially on college campuses is where we hear about them the most to support, and they support student mental health and well-being. Now, Paula might want to talk about, we often get the question, what's the difference between a therapy dog and a service dog?
Yeah, exactly.
And what is an emotional support dog? So these are 3 different categories, and Paula might want to explain about that a little more.
therapy dogs really help people in so many ways. So therapy dogs are basically to help reduce stress and anxiety, improve moods, help lower blood pressure, and even decrease the perception of pain. And they can calm, autistic children and increase social interactions.
Yes.
So there's a lot that therapy dogs can do. They, provide love, comfort, and care to people who need it, right?
Right.
She's currently visiting a girl with cancer, and it really helps calm her, and it really helps her well-being. And service dogs, they're different because, they're basically helping people who have disabilities such as like visual and hearing impairment, disabilities or mental illnesses, or
right.
They might have like traumatic stress disorder, or they could have seizures or diabetes, and service dogs will help assist people like that. And,
gotcha.
Yeah, and like trained PTSD dogs are able to provide like an added sense of protection and identify like an anxiety symptoms. For example, they will make a person focus on them in large crowds or awaken someone having nightmares, right? And
wow, so I can imagine like the service dogs would have, I guess, more training than the therapy dogs, because I'm kind of getting that therapy dogs are more like the companion. And correct me if I'm wrong.
No, therapy, you don't really need to have training per se to be a therapy dog, whereas service dogs go through, like hundreds of hours of training because they do like very specific things like guiding the blind or something, right?
Right, exactly.
Although it did take me 18 months to train Lucy.
Oh,
to become a therapy dog. Yeah.
Oh, we'll definitely touch on that.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that it's significantly different, because a person cannot live without their service dog, or, it provides a life-saving task, whereas therapy dogs are just to provide like comfort and companionship. So that's kind of different, right?
Okay, and in your organization, you guys have a therapy dog program.
Yeah.
So on average, how many rescue dogs do you guys have, and how many like qualify for this program?
At least half our dogs are rescues. And training a rescue dog to become a well-behaved dog doesn't automatically make it suitable to be a therapy dog, because not all dogs want to have sustained interactions with people.
That's true after the history.
Yeah. In a certain sense, therapy dogs are born and not made. The one thing that is essential for a therapy dog is that it must love petting from strangers and not just tolerate it. It's really important for therapy dogs to love people. So, if dogs will fail if they don't like people, if they back off, when people come by or want to pet them and that, right? So I guess it depends on the dog. And
where do you guys get your rescue dogs? Is it usually from owners directly, or do you guys work with a shelter?
No. So owners bring in their dogs for assessments, and so some of these are rescues and some of these are not. We get in the end, we end up getting about 50% are rescues.
Oh, okay, I understand. So they've already been adopted.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And then the owners are, okay.
They're adopted, they're trained, and then they come into their program if they are suitable, because you'd be surprised, but so many dogs fail our assessments, even if they have been fully trained and they have lots of certificates of training and stuff, they still fail the therapy dog assessment, because the main thing is that it's very unusual that a dog will stay still or would like to stay with a perfect stranger for half an hour or 1 hour and be petted, This is a very unusual situation for a dog. They might like to just say hello to somebody, but then they move on to the next thing. They want to go and say hello to another dog or whatever they want, something different. They won't just sit down or lie down and want to be petted for a long time. So this is a very unusual situation that we're asking our dog to do.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And I'm just curious to know, between the half that are not rescues and the half that are, do you find the rescues are more apt to do something or more or less to do something, or is it all pretty much the same across the board?
Well, the thing is that once a dog, whether it's a rescue dog or any other dog, once it has the proper training and handling, dogs can change really dramatically. And for example, my dog Vida is a French bull, and she's a prime example of this because she had very severe behavioral problems when she first came, and she was very reactive to both people and other animals. But after about 6 months to a year of proper training and handling, she changed dramatically. So she went from black to white during that time. So
amazing.
Yeah. It all depends on how they're trained and handled and, exposed also to other dogs and other people and how they're taught things, just like kids, I guess,
Oh, I understand. So actually, that brings me to the next point then. What would you ladies say to a perception that rescue dogs have too many issues to become a therapy dog? It's a perception. I'm not saying I believe in that, but...
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, that if the rescue dog has had correct exposure to other people and to other dogs and, they've been taught carefully and they've been properly handled and trained, they can get over a lot of their issues. And it's definitely possible for them to become a therapy dog as long as they have the primary instinct of absolutely loving people and wanting to be with people all the time. That's what we're always looking for.
Right.
Yeah, Lucy's a good example of that. When I got her, that's all she wanted was to be loved and to be with me. And she was basically left alone for the first 6 months of her life. And she just barred up in a room and left there. And that's where she ate and peed. She had no teddy bear or nothing. And
my gosh.
Yeah,
wow.
And I found out about her and got her from a foster home. And it was just like, this guy goes into a pet store. Oh, cute dog. I'll get it for my kids. And he only sees kids once a month, right? And didn't realize how much work a puppy is, right? So Lucy was just getting on his nerves, and he didn't know what to do. And he's like, "Get this! I don't want this dog."
Jeez. Well, you know what they say about January is that's the month where a lot of dogs get returned or surrendered after the holidays. That's horrible. But
having a dog is a big responsibility, right? It's horrible to see all these dogs that they're cute on Christmas Day, and a few days later, and it's like, oh my God, it just crapped on my floor, and I don't want this dog anymore. And people haven't got the patience to train it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I got Lucy, she's the youngest dog I ever had because my last dog was almost 4 when I got her. So that's when I started training. It's like I want to make sure she's trained properly, and 6 months old and still not knowing how to use the bathroom is like she should have known by then.
Right.
But, she's just stuck in a room.
Yeah.
Now she's a very happy dog. She's such a good
that's
dog.
Good. We're actually going to get to both your stories. We're just going to have a quick break, and we'll continue with our topic of rescue dogs turned into therapy dogs.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Save a Pooch. We are talking with Paula and Quille from Vancouver ecoVillage. So let's start with Paula. So I've read your story online. So just wondering if you'd be willing to share with us.
Sure. I was diagnosed with MS, and I really didn't know what to be doing with myself because, I had lost, was taken off work and I couldn't do my job anymore. So, I wanted to find a way that I could give back to the community, and I met Lucy and adopted her, and I started training Lucy, and we did really good in our courses together, and people were saying, oh my God, she makes such a good therapy dog, why don't you take the training further? And I thought, I think I should. So we did our first 3 courses, our beginners and intermediate and advanced, and after that I couldn't go any further, so I had to find a way to make her a therapy dog, and that's when I got a hold of Vancouver ecoVillage, and they led me in the right direction and told me what I had to do. So we did some more training, and her CGN test, she needed that before she became a therapy dog, and that's a canine good neighbor test. And finally she did the therapy dog exams, and then she became a fully certified therapy dog. So now we volunteer to bring comfort and affection to people in the community. We also visit terminally ill cancer patients at their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's nice.
And we go to schools and where we help students at exam times. And I've been told that our sessions can help lower blood pressure and cholesterol, plus release stress and anxiety. I'm not sure if that's what actually happens.
Okay.
But Lucy and I sure enjoy our visits. So having rescued, trained, and lived with Lucy has had an enormous impact on my life. Like, the truth is, I believe Lucy rescued me. She gets me out walking every day. Like, the doctor told me 10 years ago I was going to be in a wheelchair in 5 years. But because of my dogs, I really believe that they've kept me motivated, kept me going, got me out walking every day, right? I'm not in a wheelchair yet.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I give my dogs a lot of credit for that. And, training Lucy gave us something new to focus on each week. And Lucy's also my best friend who makes me laugh every day. And I wake up looking forward to her next adventure every day.
Oh.
So it's great. And I can give back to the community. And it's all volunteer work. I do kind of miss the money I used to make.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
hard. Like, it's been hard financially and emotionally not having my career anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But, this helps fill the gap.
That's amazing. Well,
the
tell
best
Lucy
thing I ever did was rescue her.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
It was
Good for you.
Yeah, it was like someone told me, like, Lucy came at a time when I wasn't expecting it. And it was like someone had sent, like, an angel had sent her to me. And, it's been really good.
I believe that.
In March, yeah. She's
well,
such
thank
a sweetheart.
you. Thank you for sharing that, Paula. That's awesome that you get to see both sides of it. Now, Quille, you also have a story to tell, which I don't know. So please feel free to share.
Okay, sure. So about 3 years ago, I rescued Vita. This is a French bulldog, a French-English bulldog mix, because her owner was too sick to take care of her. I found her on the 20th floor of an apartment building. She was in a metal pen with some kibble. She had no choice but to eliminate in the same pen, and she really hated that. She hadn't been outside or seen anyone for weeks. So when she first came to me, into her new home, she was very afraid. She was terrified of being taken outside. She was terrified of other animals. She growled and barked at everybody and all other animals to stay away and chased any that got too close. She stopped eating, and she lost lots and lots of weight. But I was very patient with her, and I fed her by hand and, tried to build a strong relationship with her. I cooked all her meals at home, and, for example, I gave her everything that I could find in the supermarket, for example, beef and lamb and pork and roast chicken, whatever. So anyway,
lucky girl.
Lucky girl. She soon gained back the weight and also stopped being so afraid of everything. She stopped growling at other dogs and even ignored squirrels. So, we were doing really well. Then after that, I took her for dog training every week where she met other dogs, and soon she became one of the dogs in the hood kind of thing. And she learned brand new words for her, like, sit, down, come, heel, turn, even high five. Over the next 6 months or so, she learned to do all of those things plus a few tricks. Then she discovered she loved to play soccer, and now she even throws balls back at the patients. When patients throw balls at her, she throws them right back at them. So they have a lot of fun with that. But,
she understands 2 languages too, right? You trained her in Spanish and English?
No, in Italian and English.
Oh my God.
But I think that's pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, Vita gave me a lot of love and comfort, and I really wanted to share it with other people. So then I took her specifically for therapy dog training, and 6 months later, Vita was certified as a therapy dog, and now she works, and then she started working in hospitals, nursing homes, and schools, and she helped people with things like Down syndrome, autism, PTSD, OCD. Right now, we work to help students at schools and universities through doing very large-scale therapy dog events.
Right, okay.
And one of the things that Vita does on the side is now she helps to rehabilitate new rescue dogs that we get through the organization. And she helps to give them a second chance at life and finding love and a new home.
Wow. There's so many options out there. I didn't realize. That's good to know.
So that's kind of our little story.
And how long have the therapy program been around?
Therapy dog program has been around for about 5 years.
5 years. Okay. And you guys are expanding?
Yes, constantly.
Oh, that's amazing. Great work, guys.
Expanding, yeah.
Well, thank you, Paula and Quille, for talking to me, and our show producer, Mark Winter, for making this show possible. You can check out Vancouver ecoVillage at www.vancouvervillage.com. That's correct, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay. And then you can click on the menu Pets, and you can find it all about their program there. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for a show, please email me at beverly@petliferadio.com. So until next time, spread animal compassion.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.